last week, and I know this is not necessarily news of the day, but we were in Tampa all week. We were talking to some fantastic people at the Turning Point Student Action Summit, and didn't get to this story, but the ICE agents that did a raid, which was sanctioned by a search warrant for or a criminal search warrant on a marijuana farm in Camarillo, California. A bunch of the news media, Stephen, was talking about, well, there was children there, and how could they do that with children there? 10 youths, one young is 14 years old, were wrapped up in the ICE raids, to which I and pretty much every conservative commentator goes, why were there children working in the fields? That kind of sounds like slave labor, which is not okay. Stephen, why did one, they miss that, and two, there's so many other things going on with this. If you have any other comments about this whole raid, I would love to hear them.
You know, one of my favorite rap songs by Vanilla Ice is Ice Ice Baby. I mean, why are babies out on the farm picking marijuana? And then you've got the mainstream media, the Democrats, and Gavin Newsom saying that this is going to affect America's food safety, that they are the largest producer of agriculture. These guys aren't picking strawberries. They're not picking almonds for your almond milk. This is marijuana. And this company is known for missing payroll regularly. So now you've got these immigrant children. Some of them don't even have parents that they're probably paying slave labor to. To me, this is just so disgusting. And the fact that they're trying to pin this on the food safety of America, last I checked, nobody is eating marijuana to survive. They're using it for a good time.
I was going to say, if you didn't add that "to survive" there, I'd be like, I might push back. Not a good thing, but still not entirely sure. The farmer also, by the way, that owns the ranch, according to California disclosure reports, has donated $10,000 to the Gavin Newsom campaign in 2018. No shock there. Liz, this, I think, highlights kind of another big issue. You know, libs are all about like, well, we got to protect the illegal immigrants. Why not protect the kids? If you remember, the Biden administration just kind of lost 320,000 illegal migrant children who were in the country. They just kind of lost track of them. Turns out some of them are working in these farms, which I can almost guarantee you are not abiding by any of these state-regulated laws regarding minors working. How come it seems like they care more about illegals than they care about, or the protection of illegals than they care about children?
They don't care about the protection of illegals. They care about the protection of cheap labor. And here's the thing with the children, they have nimble fingers, so it's easier for them to get into the marijuana plants and stuff. So I think they're all happy, especially the liberals in California. They all need their weed. They're all stressed out about everything. So that's why they don't care.
I think it's funny and ironic. It's not funny. The whole situation is bad, but it's just the irony is just so juicy, especially in the state of California. And I think Governor Newsom is on the wrong side of this politically. Stephen, did you have another thought?
Yeah, Joe Bob. I mean, these liberals, the only way that they're able to keep their Trump derangement syndrome under control is to just have a little bit of marijuana, and they've got to keep it affordable. You know, high inflation under Biden. They've got to have that cheap weed, and so they've got to have children with no parents. Again, this is disgusting. I don't mean to make light of it, but the fact that they're defending this is kind of like defending that Abrego Garcia guy who was trafficking children and beating his wife, and then they were pretending, oh, he's a great guy. Like, can you just defend the right group of people?
No, Stephen, I'm pretty sure he was just a father in Maryland. He raised the Maryland father. Nothing more than that. Not a wife beating human trafficking illegal. Speaking of libs, doing some just classic lib things, I recognize that this is really only affecting a geographically small place. Obviously, population-wise, New York City is a huge city. But former governor, disgraced / resigned Governor Cuomo, said that he will be running for mayor as an independent against Mamdani, but there's a catch here that I think is really funny and kind of interesting. He says that by September, if there's not a clear winner, or whoever the clear winner is, every other independent should drop out of the race so that they can defeat the communist Mamdani over there in New York. Stephen, one, do you think he will abide by his own rules? And two, Eric Adams, the current mayor, who's also running as an independent, has basically said, yeah, pound sand, I'm not dropping out. You think this plan is going to work?
I mean, he's already upset that this other guy came in. Like, he's got the name Cuomo, right? Unfortunately, he tarnished it by being a little bit handsy with some of the women in his office. So that's on him. But, you know, asking people to drop out, I think it's just his way of saying, I literally don't have a chance of winning this unless I get a bunch of other people's stuff. So once again, these Democrats, they don't run on good policy. They run on getting votes in really clever ways.
Yeah, clever or conniving is probably, yeah, how things are done in that part of the country. Liz, do you think anybody's going to follow these arbitrary rules set by the guy who is hoping that these rules give him the boost he needs to not abide by them?
No, I mean, this is a mayoral race in New York City. This isn't like a fifth grade, election. Nobody has to do anything that Cuomo wants. He did a terrible job. He's going to do another terrible job. And why should anyone listen to him?
Yeah, it's one of those two where you're like, hey, we're all going to sign this pact. I also, this is just me, especially, and it's easier to Monday morning quarterback this one, but when people were saying, we're going to sign this pact that all the conservatives, and then Trump would go, I'm not signing that. It just kind of, it's exactly how these things always work, especially if you're not the front runner trying to get these things started.